You
but I do
know,
remember.
you said hello in Japanese, by the way.
Oh, Japanese. I thought you said Korean. Damn it! So I thought it was Konnichiwa. What the
that
hell?
that is so. Konnichiwa is hello in Japanese. Moshi moshi is hello in Japanese in terms of answering a phone. So
Oh,
so
so
Koreans,
then I'm gonna get that out of my damn mind. So now you need to teach me in Korean what is hello in Korean.
it's yoboseo.
Yomoseo. Okay,
Very
I'll
good. That's actually pretty damn close. What do you think, Barbara?
Yeah, that sounded pretty good. I thought it was Hasea IO or something, but when people say it around me, they say it super fast. So I'm like terrible at it.
So when you answer the phone, typically as a Korean, you say yoboseo. So it's like yoboseo.
Oh, yo
Yobo.
boseo. Yo
Exactly.
boseo. Okay, I
Yeah,
thought you
yeah.
were Yomoseo. I'm like, what do you have to I
Yobo
heard
say
it.
yobo.
What do you have to say? Yomoseo, what do you yo boseo, what do you have to say is what I hear. So
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. I like how you mnemonically break that down. So, Miss G, I've been trying to send you the co-host tunings, but weirdly, it's I don't know if it's working because this was actually a Miss G and Brandon production. But I don't know if she's having difficulty herself. I was definitely having problems myself, as everybody noticed. I mean, we had like what 8,000 people in that room, like my old days of Clubhouse and my old days of K-pop dad. God, what the hell happened? It Okay, perfect. Good. It said I couldn't give you co-host news because there's already two co-hosts, and I was like, what the fuck? So Miss G, welcome. We've been talking about this and planning this, and can you say hello so I can hear you?
Hello.
There we
It is off,
are.
but we are
it's
here. Sure.
Yoboseo. Say it the right way, Yoboseo.
안녕하세요. I said something else, I guess. 안녕하세요.
That's amazing. Your pronunciation is actually like perfect. Uh, I think you should go to Korea and then find the Hongdae guy and ask him to marry you because he'd probably say yes.
Well, I think I'm not the perfect type for there. They have like these cool, sweet girls as their prototype. I'm actually very aggressive looking, so they would be scared.
Well, that's actually a great start. Let's talk about that. You say you're aggressive looking, and okay. So let me just dial back here real quick. So Miss G and I have been interacting on Spaces and X, or mostly X, I would say, and then a little bit of DM. And Barbara had this amazing space the other day with the topic "What is ethics." And it made me think about my professor in my freshman year of college, and he tasked us with this paper where we had to write 5 freaking pages on the question, "What is beauty?" Like, what is beauty? And that was the first time in my life where I was just like, "What the hell? How am I going to write 5 pages of stuff? Defining what I think is just hot." Because in my mind, it was like hot. Hot is beauty. Beauty is hot. Girls are hot, or girls, and I only thought girls. I thought girls were beautiful. I mean, guys are not beautiful. Guys are handsome, or guys are mushisa, which is another Korean word. Maybe we'll define at some point. And guys are also assholes, or they're ugly. So, or they're I mean, what I was taught is Asians have small penises, but that's another thing that Jeremy and I can talk about later. But that's we're not going to talk about that. Okay, so I
Oh my god. Oh, I didn't know Brandon had this much comedy. Wow, that's good. Keep going, Jeremy. Not Jeremy. Sorry, Brendan.
well, if you want to call me Jeremy, that's fine too, because I don't mind that. So I'm not as funny as Elizabeth, by the way. So I apologize just beforehand. I just have to beg everybody's forgiveness. This will not be as on the level of a Elizabeth, Polina, Jeremy, James space. When you have those four or like, combined on any of those dating spaces, like I just can't compete. Like I hesitate to even ask for the speaker button because I'm just like I'm gonna feel so small. My penis is so small like at that moment, and I just don't know what to do. So I just stay in listener mode. But anyway, so
So just it's okay. Just tell the woman, I'm just if you want 12 inches, I'm gonna have to, F you 4 times. It's no big deal. You know, they'll get 12 inches. They
Hey,
will.
hey, hey, Jeremy! I was math student of the year in ninth grade, and frankly, it's 36 inches divided by three for me. So I only have to do it one third of the time. So anyway, that's an aside. Let's talk to Miss G and Barbara, because today we're gonna abide by policy. It's gonna be called ladies first. Even though boy first just started the damn space and couldn't fucking figure it out, but ladies first. So Miss G, I'm going to ask you the question, and let's go to Barbara, and then we might get to Jeremy and other speakers on the panel, like James and Fitz and whoever else wants to talk about this. So I'm going to shut the fuck up and start eating my kaguksu and let Miss G talk.
Well, the question is, what's beauty? So, for me, actually, beauty is like perfection flirting with imperfection. You see beauty, it's like a blueprint of nature, and it's everywhere. It's imprinted in the colors, in the shapes, in the symmetry, like a magical code. And we all can recognize it. It is pure, it is worthy, it is alive. It's it's something we all have inside. We are able to recognize it in nature, in people, and it feels right. It feels genuine. It feels pure. It reminds us that we are connected. We, in every single cell, we are connected through beauty, through appreciating it, through admiring it, through creating it, and also through destroying it. We think of beauty of something perfect, and it's actually not that. In my experience with people and as a photographer, I get to see people, I get to see their insecurities and what they think of beauty. It is something so perfect. And in fact, we actually fall in love with imperfections of people. We fall in love with those small flaws that actually make them them. If it was like 100%, everything was perfect, everything was in line, it would be so monotone. We have experienced beauty in places that we maybe wouldn't even expect for it to find it. Therefore, I am in love with the imperfections that people carry, but sometimes they are not even aware that they are as beautiful as we see it. So I think beauty is subjective. We can agree on most of in the majority of it, but when it comes to stopping, reflecting, and see, recognize ourselves in other people, we see through beauty. That's what I had to say. I will pass it to Barbara.
Well, real quick, would you do me a favor? That was amazing. That was so beautiful. Will you please, in the comments, and I'm going to steal this. I'm going to repost it. Uh, can you say that again before you type it? The definition of beauty about seeing imperfection and still seeing the beauty or whatever. I don't want to screw that up. That was just so profound. Can you say it one more time? Do you remember exactly what you said the definition of beauty was?
I don't remember exactly what I said, but
I'm going to go back and listen to the recording and I will type it
Well,
out in
well,
that
so
yeah.
can I interrupt? Sorry, and I hate to interrupt, but there's an actual Japanese definition for this. It's actually what Miss G just described. It's called wabi sabi. Wabi sabi is actually beauty in imperfection. So it's fascinating because I imagine, Miss G, you've never heard of wabi sabi, have you?
No, no.
So she basically created what many generations, if not hundreds or thousands of years, they created this concept called wabi sabi. And so you are actually saying exactly what wabi sabi is, and that's what, in my mind, is very beautiful. Is when somebody can do something like that, and she says that she can't remember because she did it on the spot or in the moment, and that's beautiful. But anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Can I sponsor
Yeah,
the
it
space by with wasabi? Actually, wasabi sponsorship. If you want to get some sushi, go to your local sushi restaurant. Sushi in itself has beauty in it, but that's not the topic of sushi. So, back to the ghosts.
So our commercial sponsor spokesman here, James, will be interjecting periodically, just as a heads up, in case you guys have not met James. James is actually James. You're half Korean or half Chinese or half something, right?
Yeah, I'm born in the U.S., but I have family in China, and I speak okay Chinese, not the best, but
Okay. Yeah. No, I ask because your humor is somewhat like I would argue. Why are you laughing, Jeremy?
I love James. He's so damn funny, and his coupon codes, and he just brings
Yeah.
levity to every damn room that I'm in.
It's so fucking random, but
Yeah.
it's so hilarious. But Barbara, let's get back on the rails, or let's talk about beauty. So, do you mind sharing your thoughts?
Sure. Yeah. No, I loved what was shared earlier by Misty. That, I mean, I totally agree with. I do think that beauty is basically a perception of the perceiver. And I do see that the imperfections is what makes us beautiful. That is true. I mean, if we were all carbon copies of each other, it would be completely boring. So, yeah, that was a really amazing description that she offered us. Um, I, for one, like the thing that attracts me the most about others is what's in their mind. I mean, I'm not so much about stuck on somebody's physical. Sure, that's a win if, like in my situation with my husband, there's lots of things that I liked about him, but what I really liked most about him was his mind and the fact that he was a hard worker like myself. So I kind of felt like, we were both going in the same direction. So I guess one could say that, alignment is a beautiful thing, especially if you're going towards a common goal, versus the opposite, right? Like, I mean, we know what that feels like when you're in a conversation with somebody and you're trying to give them good advice and they're like fighting for their own limitations. That's like the hardest kind of conversation to have when you're dealing with somebody who has a mindset that's stuck on limitations, or oh no, that's not going to work, and they're just looking for every reason why something isn't going to work versus working towards something that could or have a potential for. So I think mindset is a huge thing for me. That's why I think X is just so incredible. And, like others have mentioned before, and, in Elizabeth's spaces, I think X is an amazing platform for others to find like-minded individuals and, future mates from, because we are speaking to the top like people in almost every field. There's so much knowledge that's been given out on the daily, from various spaces, different hosts. I mean, we're just running into so many different colorful personalities. I mean, James with all of his, advertising plugs, which are very funny. And now he's got like oh gosh, a shtick that he can share in space after space after space, which is awesome. I totally love that. So yeah, that's what I think the definition of beauty is for me. I think it's more intrinsic. It's not so much what's on the outside. I mean, because I've seen, actors and stuff that on the outside, girls are swooning over, yet, when you hear them speak or you hear what's between their ears, I'm just like, wow, I would not be able to deal with that day in, day out. You know what I mean? Which is probably a blessing because clearly, I I only need one man in my life, so I don't want to overcomplicate things. Clearly, but yeah, no, and I just think it's a beautiful thing to look at others and just take in, okay, wow, is that how you think and that's working for you? Or, or to actually look at the people that are adding value to this platform, the ones that are fighting for, harmony and unity and humanity and the things that are upworthy. Those are the things, those are the gems that I look for. I almost feel like it's kind of like an Easter egg hunt, and you just never know until tap in and have a conversation with somebody, just like me meeting Brandon. I mean, kind of cool. He knows a lot about Korean. I know not as much about Korean, even though my mother is part Korean and was adopted from an orphanage from Seoul, Korea. When she came into the United States, all of her, heritage, everything kind of went to the wayside. And then, of course, family to meeting my father, he was a hardcore Texan. I mean, the one thing that he told her was that, he didn't really like fish. So I never learned how to cook fish. I don't know how to cook seafood very well. I mean, I try my best. I, go to Pinterest or watch videos on YouTube, but I'm still not very secure with, that type of cuisine versus all of the things that they cook in Texas, right? So steak, pork chops, chicken, all the things, the standards that we now know are basically like an Americanized type of food. The one thing that she did keep though, which was amazing, and I love her for that, is rice, So we did have rice growing up, and she would also make two different versions of kimchi. One was, her version, which was spicier, and then the other one she called the girls' kimchi because, I was raised with my other sisters, right? So that was the only kind of tradition that we had that I totally love. And I love all foods. So, anyways, that was my take on what is beauty, and I'm hoping that everyone can add to the conversation because I think it is beautiful to see what others see or deem as beautiful to them. So I love that.
No, thank you. That's an amazing, amazing answer. I mean, I thought, after Miss G said what she said, like there was nobody who's going to outdo her. But I'd say you gave probably an equally beautiful answer. I want to give it to other people first, and again, we're going to use the ladies first policy here. So if women do actually request, even if it's out of order, we're going to give them the mic before the guys. Sorry, Jeremy. Sorry, Fitz. And
It's
James.
okay, big boy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no worries.
But because I mean, to be honest, I wonder if letting women define beauty would probably have made this world a better place. But I mean, unfortunately, I mean, I don't know, but I think guys kind of define the beauty, and that's the reason why our world's kind of fucked up in some ways. But that's just a little bit of commentary. So I will talk about my mom because she's the most beautiful woman on this planet, and I will talk about her in a little bit because before her, my grandma was the most beautiful person before she left us, and I still try my best to say hello to my grandma when I remember. But before I speak about the beauty of my mom and maybe my concept of beauty, can we give it to Donica? So Donica's been raising her hand.
Oh, hello. Thank you so much for having me. I came here because Barbara, my good friend, invited me here, and nice meeting you, Brendan. Hi, Miss G. And Jeremy, Manny, you are funny. I always listen to you to Elizabeth's space, so happy Sunday. What is beauty? I'm just going to take maybe 3 minutes or more than that because I have so much to talk. I came from a family when we are like gifted with beauty is in the DNA. My mom was really beautiful. She was a beauty pageant, and I have two other sisters. My daughter, like Iran, is in the family, and it's not about being conniving, but I think God sometimes give that beauty to be example of what inner beauty is, and inner beauty is like soul. and the soil that we plant the seeds. If you don't nurture with kindness and compassion and empathy for others, maybe you never grow as beautiful as you are planned in your DNA. And the outer beauty is like that mannequins that we see always displaying outfits, after outfits, and people can see, or they go in these fashion shows, but you never know how deep their beauty is. So you were telling that story about, I can't remember the word. I think it was um, kintsugi, correct? Because I can't remember the word in Japanese, but I think it's kintsugi. I have worked with, I'm a life coach, and I work with a lot of young girls. And I am science teacher, so I teach mindfulness at the same time. But when girls are in the beginning of teenage years, they compare themselves a lot with others, and they don't see that inner beauty. And it's like always so painful to go through that in and out. And I've taught 14 to 18 years old. And all the time is, I don't like myself. I'm not beautiful. And this story about the vase was told by me many, many years ago, that was this beautiful vase in a Japanese family, and it fell and it broke in many pieces. And the person don't want to disappoint the parents and start like to glue in pieces and doing all the, and he was like, why don't let as it is, but just put some golden powder and make it beautiful? And the meaning of that, I tell the girls all the time, you can't compare yourself with anybody, because we're going to have those scars in life. But these scars are going to tell the story. We all going to have different shape and size, but guess what? That shape and size is going carry life. I am hourglass shape. Some of the girls like and say, Miss Gunter, I want to look like you when I get older, or right now. And I'm like, but I nurture my body, I eat healthy, I exercise, and I love who I am. I don't compare myself. I can be 6 foot or 5'11". I am 5'3", and I love who I am. So we have to nurture what I have. For me, beauty is falling in love with yourself and loving who you are, investing on your education. More educated and confident you are, you're going to exude and radiate that inner beauty. And that is when people say, wow, when she walk in the room, everybody turn their head. Is that aura, because that energy and that confidence and that beauty come from inside you. When your heart is open, you are comfortable with yourself, you know your values, you know what you bring into the table, and that field expands so much and people are going to attract. But when you don't know that inner beauty, who you are, your values, you are afraid to protect who you are, and you allowed others to control you, and that means then you shrinking that beauty underneath. So our flaws don't make us less beautiful, they make us human. Healing can be an art, and our scars are symbol of strength. And we don't need to hide our pain. We need to honor it and even let it shine. And how it shine? From inside out. So outer beauty may be admired, but inner beauty is often forged in the quiet art of mending with patience, grace, and gold. Just like that beautiful vase. We all are different, we all have scars. But when you know who you are, that is the beauty. Through the words, through the act of service and act of kindness. Thank you for allowing me to speak, and thank you, Barbara, for inviting me. I'm in
Donica,
Naples.
Donica. I followed you before because I heard you in Elizabeth's space. I was checking to see if I followed you because I don't follow actively. If somebody follows me, I don't just follow them because I wait to hear them, to see if they have beauty, to be honest. And I heard it from you before, and I don't remember what you said, but what you just said outdid whatever you said before in my mind. And I have to say, I'm blessed. In the past, I don't know, 16 weeks, I think all of my mom's prayers over the past, like, maybe 54 years have finally come true. You know, like she's been praying for me, you know, wondering if I'd ever succeed in her mind. And when she means succeed, she means, like, you know, have like $1 billion. Like, I don't think I'll succeed until I have $1 billion. So a million's not enough, 10 million's not enough, 100 million's not enough. So Jeremy, just kidding. But anyway, the
Now
fact,
we have the same goal, brother. We have the same goal.
right? So, but I just had to say I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be surrounded by such amazing souls. And you all just defining beauty in three of the most amazing ways. Like, they were all different in how you defined it, yet so beautiful, you know. And you touch on what I believe is beauty, but it took me 54 years, or maybe it took at least more than 30 or 40, to start to realize beauty's not on the outside, but beauty's on the inside. And it was because I was too focused on what, frankly, my parents kind of, you know, like, pounded over my head, which was make money, make money, make money. And yeah, I'm not going to talk about my mom and all that stuff, but I just wanted to touch on a couple things. One is the wabi sabi thing. We did put it in the purple pill, so if anybody wants to see, Fitz even found a restaurant in Seattle called Wabi Sabi, so he put that up top. It is a concept I learned a handful of years ago, and it is an amazing concept. And did I hear you correctly, Donica? You're Iranian?
I'm Albanian.
Albanian. Okay. I've been meeting so many people from basically Europe and the Eastern Bloc, and basically all the places that we call the Eastern Bloc. I don't even know what people in the Eastern Bloc call the Eastern Bloc. They're just like, we're Albania. What are you fucking talking about? It's not an Eastern Bloc. But you know, it's just so rich. I mean, I was talking to somebody earlier today, this morning when I woke up, and he was explaining everything about Kazakh, I think Kazakh, and just I can't remember it all, but it was just so amazing. And honestly, that was a beautiful conversation. So I just wanted to highlight how amazing it is over there. And, you know, Miss G, I forget, Miss G, can I ask what country are you in right now? Because I don't know if I've even asked.
I live in Europe, but I don't actually say where I'm from.
Okay, that's fine. Like Southern, Eastern, does that matter? I'm sorry.
It doesn't matter, but
Okay.
I'm somewhat central,
Okay.
somewhat.
Because the only reason I ask is because, as we talk about being Korean, like Barbara being Korean herself, I learned that Jeremy is actually half Lebanese. Right, Jeremy?
Yeah, half Lebanese, half Italian. That's correct.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes our roots of where we come from help me at least understand from a non, you know, Lebanese or non-Italian perspective, or maybe from the Eastern Bloc or Albanian, or wherever in Europe you are, Miss G, from. It helps me understand, because I think culturally there's some definitely patterns or things that have happened over time. But anyway, this is not an anthropological conversation. So we had a couple hands up. So Jeremy, I think, and then maybe Guy.
So everybody needs to follow Brandon. We become good friends, and he's so damn funny. And his parents are even funnier. That's the crazy thing. That's where he gets his humor from. And the message you share with me, how she just doesn't have time for it. I just start laughing. I'm like, oh God, he's got a yeah. And his dad's funny, and the videos he posted on YouTube. The guy's hilarious. So, and then Miss G, holy shit, and Barbara. I mean, I just can't say enough. We become close in Elizabeth's space, and what blows me away is Miss G is not married. I mean, I'm telling you, if I wasn't seeing someone, I'd be up in her DMs. I've said this many a times. She is just understands people, and she's so profound with the things she says, and beauty's not is in the eyes of the beholder. It's true. My first two wives were gorgeous and they're great in bed, and that is not the reason to be in love with someone. That's called in lust. And so now, the other girl I'm talking to is so smart and has the biggest heart in the world, and just so amazing. You know, she's a giver. I'm a giver. And I don't know. I can't say enough. And oh, and the icing on the cake or the cherry on top. Oh my gosh! Physically, she's beautiful. I'm like, wow. So when you put your priorities in line with what you should actually be looking for, you can find happiness. Yeah, I am a happy person, but kind of like Jerry Maguire, she completes me, and so I do have goals in life. I just want to beat my cousin. I want to be on the Forbes 3,000 list, and it's a family thing. We've all been entrepreneurs. Everybody's owned businesses and been successful, and so. But really, the reason I want to do is to be able to help people. There's so many deserving people in this world that just need a hand up, not a handout. And I want to help. I want to help do that. If I can't, I want to mentor. I want to help financially. But when I meet people, I keep saying that X is fake. It's the internet. All these fake people. I've met so many genuine people though, like real name, real phone number, and real picture, and they get on camera with me, and and these are the people that I surround myself with. I say that the top five people that you surround yourself with is who you'll become. And so I surround myself with more successful, more knowledgeable people, and I'll become that way. It's just how it works. Just like Hitch would say, if you put a low IQ person, five low IQ people with one high IQ, the high IQ person is going to dummy himself down to be equal. Same thing with behavior. If you have one well-behaved kid and you have five, piece of shit kids, well, that good kid's going to start misbehaving. And so it's the same way in life. If you want to be successful, find more successful people. And that's not just money. That could be ethical, that could be religious, whatever you think is success is and happiness. Surround yourself with those people and you'll become those people. But thank you for having me, Brandon, and thank you for your friendship.
No, thank you for your friendship. I have to speak about Jeremy. I know this is going to sound like a bromance or whatever. The fuck it is. But I love the guy. I just introduced him to possibly my most favorite person so far in the past, I don't know, 7, 8 years. Brett, and I won't say his last name.